Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the UpperEdge Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Stewart, and your AI implementation expert. So today I'm joined by Justin Dickinson from Cousins Co. They're a company that's known for exceptional craftsmanship, from kitchen and bath remodels to full home restorations. They create spaces homeowners are proud to call home. Justin, hey, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Scott. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Man, excited to have you on too. Looking forward to learning about your business and how you got there. Which, kind of brings me to the first thing on my mind. I know your background wasn't necessarily contracting and remodels. Where'd you come from, and what led you to start Cousins Co?
Um, I mean, as a lot of entrepreneurs say, I think it kind of developed on its own. I came from manufacturing, big manufacturing, packaging, and at these facilities that we're installing $15 million packaging machines. Everything is process oriented. Everything has an SOP. There's a lot of the Japanese Kaizen, green belt strategies going on, where every tool on the machine has a place. Every operator has a set list of everything they need to do that day, for cleaning, for everything. And so that's the world I was in for about 8 years after college. And essentially got fed up with the corporate world and quit. I was kind of in design, and I relocated a lot with this big company, and got fed up with it, I guess. I left, and we did the van thing, and my wife, my dog, and I traveled around in a van trying to find where we wanted to live our life, and rented our place out in Austin, Texas. So long story short, we tried to find a place better than Portland, Maine. I lived down in California, not far from where you are, for a while. I thought I'd be back in California. But Portland, Maine is an amazing place. And I moved here where my cousin was a finished carpenter. So right away, I just kind of got some odd jobs, worked at a brewery, helping their sales and distribution. And then was at Oktoberfest at a really cool brewery in Littleton, Maine, or Littleton, New Hampshire, actually. And we're sitting there having some beers, and he wanted to quit his finished carpentry job because they weren't treating him well. And he ended up quitting shortly after. We kind of joked about calling it Cousins Co. It's pretty simple. We're cousins. Yeah. And here we are. We kind of started thinking we're going to buy and hold on to some places, use the real estate market, and maybe flip, even though that kind of, you think of shoddy, quick, low quality work when it comes to flips. And we just started working with clients' money, and 6 years later, we're really flourishing here, and I think a lot of it comes back to just communication and trust.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was just checking out your work too. You guys just do some beautiful stuff, So I imagine anywhere you go, like you talked about wanting to get back to California, if you brought that same business model over here, man, you'd be killing it too, I'm sure, man.
It's this kind of niche we found of, we do work with designers, we do work with architects. We're somewhat picky nowadays, but we've kind of fit this middle ground of like, hey, we'll do this designer-esque work. We know how to do it. We can kind of give you what our designers use a lot, and you'll get that designer look without the cost. And I think a lot of these, guys that come from the trades aren't doing that, and kind of lack in the back end of managing finances, budgeting, etc. And they're just, hands-on, used to being with the tools. And so that's kind of where I really tried hard to set ourselves up for success in creating a profitable business while also um, creating cool stuff at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be great to see that work. It's like I said, it's so beautiful.
It's so
And
tangible.
def
It's not quite
yeah,
like bus moves away in the shows on TV and oh there it is. There's a lot of last minute punch list items that kind of convolute the excitement because there's so many moving parts. But it is very cool to see something tangible turn from this to this, and it's your home, it's your kitchen, you're in it every day. It's very personal at the end of the day.
for sure, yeah, it's nice you can create that for people. So, I mean, you guys take on, kitchen remodels, bath remodels, then full home renovations. So as you've grown, what's been some of the biggest, like, challenges in scaling the business while still keeping that high quality
Mm.
that you guys strive for?
That's a great question. I think that's a constant battle. Um, I think when we talked last, I kind of mentioned, we got to a place where we were comfortable paying salaries, workers' comp, getting ourselves paid, and just took a year to refine. Let's not grow. Let's not try and get too crazy. Let's not jump into a bunch of new builds. Let's just stick to what we know and do it really well. And that was like 2 years ago. And when we refined, put a lot of those processes in place. Doesn't quite translate from manufacturing to small residential, but there's still processes that can be really helpful that we put into place. And I think we were going to get away from bathrooms because
Yeah,
it's our bathrooms are expensive and it's a small square foot area, but there's a lot in that little space. Um, and we have now gotten to a point where we actually want to grow our bathroom business because we've got it down to a science and we can knock out like one or two a month, depending on how high end and everything. So that's kind of the side business. And then the focus where a lot of the planning goes in and is needed is on these kitchens and full homes, walls moving, additions, etc. And so that's kind of big project bucket and then small project bucket of bathrooms and mudrooms and stuff like that, that I think really um, are more passive. Here's a menu of the bathroom. There's not a whole lot that changes other than the space itself. So we kind of have that down to a science, and that really helps boost, I think, our numbers and keep everyone busy, and we're not sitting around. So that's been I think, kind of a big change that we were like, let's get away from bathrooms. Oh, hold on, this is
yeah,
going to be kind of our bread and butter. But at the end of the day, to answer your question, I think the growth has really just been referrals from high-end clients to other high-end clients, and not necessarily doing more jobs, but just better jobs.
yeah. Yeah, so you do a house, people have friends and family come over, "Wow, this is amazing, look at this. Who did the work?" Right? And it just spreads from there.
And it doesn't necessarily have to go perfect. Construction, you hear so many horror stories. It doesn't have to go
It
perfect.
does.
You just communicate, set the expectations, and get back to clients quickly. And that, as long as they feel that they can trust you with these changes, these issues that come up, I think they're still going to recommend you and say, hey, yeah, we ran into an issue, but they handled it very well. Came up with 2 or 3 different solutions, and we chose this route. But yeah, like, I actually moved into the neighborhood on one of my clients' projects because I got to know it a little bit. And they have us over for Halloween every year, and it's everyone's just knows it's my kitchen, and it's fun.
It's yeah.
Tell my son too. He's like, I'm like, oh, we renovated that house. And you get
Yeah,
important neighborhoods and the word spreads in that neighborhood. And yeah.
that's cool. That's really cool. What when somebody like reaches out and they want to do a remodel, what do you think really separates the clients that move forward from the ones that don't?
Ooh. Um, that's the moving target, right? Every client's different. Everyone is a little bit, might be super serious, wants to start right away, which can be a yellow flag too. We're booking out 2027 right now, so you want to start next month is not going to happen. Um, but we we have been better about just being transparent about numbers up front. If this isn't, this starting point for a bathroom isn't going to work for you, then let's not waste either of our time. Um, I think really being focused, looking the client in the eye and getting to know them, eat that first impression. Rather than sitting there writing notes the whole time. I'm trying some different AI stuff to better transcribe our phone calls,
Yeah.
our in-person meetings, so that I can be super present with them. Because again, it's all about trust. I think that translates to most sales, most industries. But you're spending $500,000 on a renovation. We need to build some trust. The referral gets you partway there, right? Your neighbor, your friend tells you that we did a good job and they can trust us. That's halfway there, and then the rest is up to us um, to get to know the client and understand their needs versus wants. We deal a lot with kids for whatever reason. It's like, oh, we got a kid coming, so you need to be done by this date. And you know we take that seriously. And um honestly, there's not a great answer to that question. I think it's constantly feeling it out with each
Yeah.
client. With We're always trying to get budget back down, because most of the times we're more expensive than they want to spend these days. And we don't also want to spend too much time into this client if we're not going to get a commitment
Yeah.
out of it. So it's a constant moving target. And I think the more you can have written in the proposal contract, in the upfront communication, that just shows that this isn't a la carte situation. We have processes in place, and if you don't like them, then go somewhere else.
Yeah. It's nice to have that that leverage, right? You guys are so busy, is like pick and choose the right jobs and make sure you're not dealing with a client. It's just gonna be a headache too, right? Because it's not always the right fit there too. Even if they're ready to go, you're like, you're gonna be a tough one.
Totally. And it's hard to see
Yeah.
that, especially it kind of happens after that deposit. You send a deposit, you send
Yeah.
first payment, all of a sudden their demeanor changes. And it's hard to judge up front sometimes. But yeah, like some clients are never gonna be happy. Or
Yeah.
they're super nice. It's not even that they're bad people. They're super nice, but they don't get the trades whatsoever. And they
Yeah.
panic on every little thing. And it's client management comes into it a lot of the time. And luckily we have some good project managers and the team to keep people happy. But it's definitely not passive.
No, not at all. Something I see like a reoccurring thing that comes up that seems like you guys do really well is just the communication part, because that's what's lacking from so many home service contracting companies, just the transparency and communication, and it goes so far. So
Mm,
many contractors just they go MIA, right, for maybe
yeah,
weeks at a time on people, you know. So yeah,
it's
so
a
valuable.
bar is kind of low in that sense. In our industry, you have I always compare it to car maintenance. It's like you go into a place and they give you a bill of, here's the oil change. Oh, by the way, do you want to get new tires? Because it's going to cost this, and you kind of need new tires. They're starting to be unsafe, and nobody questions that. It's very clear
Yeah.
in that industry. And then when it comes to contracting, there's so many moving parts that people just try to sneak in. Oh, hey, by the way, this door is loose. Can you fix that? Oh, hey, by the way, I would really
Mm.
like this over here. And it's hard to, because one or two times is fine. We'll do it. We're happy to help.
Yeah.
But then 1, 2 turns into 10, 20 things that wasn't in our scope of work. And
You got a honey-do list.
and people don't really understand that. They're like, well, you're working in here. Why can't you just do this too? It's like, because that's new
That's not what
time.
you hired me for. Yeah. It's not within budget. That's good. That's funny, man. Yeah. I didn't really think about that. Yeah. You get pulled all kinds of directions. Huh?
So being super, super clear in the scope of work and in the contract is huge. We're constantly adding to it. And that won't ever end. I think that's why I love it as kind of an entrepreneur like yourself and someone who loves to constantly learn. This industry is perfect because there's no plateau. It's like
Yeah.
there's always new techniques coming out. There's old techniques that were being lost that we need to reteach ourselves. There's every project is very, very unique, especially with these historical homes that we work on in New England, in Portland, Maine, I should say. But that's cool to hear you say that the style here would translate quite well out there. I think the exterior homes and the building techniques vary from state to state so much. And I'm
Definitely.
starting to see homes that look like Austin, Texas, kind of modern. Probably was inspired by California, to be honest, with everyone moving to Austin. But
Yeah.
these old historical homes, there's got to be a lot of expectations set to say, hey, I don't know what the hell's in that wall, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You have no idea.
No idea.
No idea. Yeah. I could see like in you- South Pasadena and those areas, a lot of your style would go really well there. Do you ever thought about that opening up another shop somewhere? Or?
Thought about it.
Yeah.
I think we always kind of promised our team, who has been with us really since day one. We haven't lost anyone, which is I'm very proud of.
Good. Yeah.
Uh, and we treat them really well with profit sharing, which is kind of the incentive, and we share. If we do really well, then they do really well. But I don't know. I think we never wanted to grow too big, but opening a different location that's not off the table.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it seems like that quality, right? And the fact that the way you run the business, it's a set in a way that it seems like you could go ahead and take that exact model, start it up somewhere else and just continue to grow it if that was your vision. But also there's nothing wrong with like just really enjoying what you're doing and just living life, with that style too. But it seems like, yeah, you could
Yeah,
go big
inspired.
as you wanted to go, it seems like.
I think the question mark there is subcontractors. It took a few years to really. Our subcontractors are an extension of our team that will call me and say, hey, I need to come pick a check up from your mailbox or whatever, and it's just that we help each other kind of mentality. We all win. I believe in win-win-wins. The client wins, the sub wins. They get paid well. We get paid well. Client gets what they want, and that's what scares me. Opening up a different location is just the 2-3 years it'll take to really build relationships with the subcontractor.
Yeah, that's a lot of people I talk to in the trades, the people that do quality work and they have just plenty of business and they want to grow. That's their biggest hurdle right
Yeah,
there. They're like, just quality work, they can do our standard,
I
like we
mean,
can't go below a standard.
it's funny. I keep bringing up Austin, but right right after we moved to Portland, Maine, we're kind of starting thinking about this company. I went down to a wedding for a buddy in Austin, and I'm talking to a guy that runs a contracting company that I knew would be there. I'm all excited, and I'm like, all right, what's the key to starting a contracting company? What is the key to running a successful contracting company? And he was just like, the absolute key is building partnerships with subcontractors that you know are going to show up on time, you can trust. Again, comes back to communication and trust. If you're going to be not going to show up, let us know. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Let us know. And we kind of know what their pricing is going to be, and if it's a little different, fine, we'll make it up on the next one. But that I'll never forget that friend that kind of made it very clear to me what success looks like as far as running a successful contracting company. And that's we look at it as partnerships. It's not, we hire you and you work for us. Like, it's
For us, yeah.
You're an
Grow
amazing
together, yeah.
tiles. You're an amazing painter. That's artistry in itself. Tiles, artistry in
Yeah.
itself. Drywall's art. Like, you're good at what you do, and we can't do it. We don't do it every day. We can, patch, and our carpenters can kind of wear all hats. But yeah, we really only have a team of carpenters and project managers. So those other components that make a bathroom and a kitchen really come to life are super important.
Yeah, it's such a great way to look at it. They're artists. What you're doing is art. Yeah. It's not just construction, it's art. Yeah, it's beautiful. Um, so we talked a little bit about it earlier, but just like technology and AI, like technology is changing so fast right now. And you said how you started using it for some note taking and things like that. Is there any other areas in your business that you've considered implementing it, or anything you think in the future
So
that might be helpful to you?
that's certainly my focus right now. I want to utilize AI as much as possible and not grow our team. So I think what set us apart early on was adapting a software. We went through two that were, 50 to $100 a month, and now we're on one
Yeah.
that like $750 a month. So it was a big jump, but it's been priceless in the sense of handling everything from sales development all the way through to change orders and estimating and the final product. Daily logs where the client can
Yeah.
literally watch the project happen day by day with progress updates and photos, without actually being there. And some clients don't use it, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah. They don't? They don't get curious? I want to pop in and
the older clients don't use it. I probably
yeah.
be better about like setting an hour with them and like walking them through their portal. Uh, but most clients find it super easy, and everyone kind of knows how to use a portal these days. Either way,
Yeah.
so this software has a lot of AI that they're developing themselves. But then on the side, um, because we're not a true design build, we don't have architects and designers on staff, but we do ride that line. I'm constantly running code, um, permitting questions through AI that's able to pull, up to date. It changes every year, it changes every few years. Pulling up to date code requirements that I plug into our permits, that goes to the town. I'm constantly running our contract through AI because they can do a really good job at keeping us safe. And then, not paying $450 an hour for a lawyer to do that. And then they just kind of do a final check. And then lastly, I think bringing AI into really the finances. That's what it's really good at, right? Is looking at data and numbers and
Yeah.
um, seeing, just I think the more that I can go back to being present with the client, that's where humans come in. But all this back end stuff that is not really intriguing anymore because I figured it out and it's just mundane. Get
Yeah.
get AI doing it.
Yeah. What kind of what kind of mundane things are you talking about? Can you go a little deeper on that? Like, what's
Um,
what's not
it,
your favorite thing to do?
it's tricky to capture every material purchase, and section it into projects because I want to capture everything so we know exactly what we're spending on each project, etc. So it's really getting good at pulling from the receipt the job name, the total, and even what um, category, like, oh, this is plumbing materials, this is plumbing subcontractor, this is. So it's really speeding up the amount of time that I do on like the bookkeeping management. I do have a bookkeeper, but she doesn't know what they don't know. I should say it's a team, but they don't know what project it belongs to, right? I have to dictate that. So it's really helping speed that along. And I'm not spending all this time looking at receipts, every week. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I need help from people like you to tell me how I can best utilize AI, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you're doing really well. It sounds like that new software you have kind of changed things a lot. You're super happy with it?
Super happy with it. It's called
What's it called?
let me plug Builder Trend.
Buildergen, cool. I'll have to check that out.
They merged with Projul, which was a bigger software. They merged and really brought a it's an amazing software. It's not perfect like anything, but it's very specific to residential construction.
Yeah,
Um, there's certain things that I still like to use a spreadsheet for and bring AI into that.
yeah,
But I could do it on Builder Trend. It's kind of a one-stop shop. But it's, yeah, basically taking the leads. We'll do an initial proposal, or at least vet that it's a good opportunity, do an initial proposal, and it's getting signatures on everything, getting everything in writing, keeping us safe, and then it moves to a job, and you refine the estimate to reflect true selections and everything that goes into the project. And it's just keeping track of everything so that we can stay focused on the work itself. Yeah.
yeah. That's interesting. It's really cool to hear that you're utilizing that and you see like the value in it and how helpful it can be for your team, especially as you grow. Because it's when you're in a business, sometimes there's ups and downs, right? You don't want to bring on bunch of new people, and then all of a sudden, oh, the business changed. Now you're letting people go, so it can let you kind of like grow steadily, and then as things really feel solid, then yeah, maybe you bring on some more people, considering seeing where your
Totally.
business is at. But yeah, that's a really smart way to look at it. I think really smart.
It's been
And the cool thing about a lot of the software too is like I talked to a lot of people where they really like their CRM, they like their software they have, but maybe there's something that it doesn't do that's
right.
more niche to them. So what's cool now is the way technology is you can build an AI layer that works directly with it, right? And they can communicate. So it's pretty cool. You can enhance it in that way. So it's pretty neat that way have those plugins like that.
That's kind of my goal in the next year, is to really figure out what plugins we want. I think, nailing down our 5 biggest issues, our 5 biggest
Yeah.
pain points, and just seeing if AI can develop, its own little app or whatever you want to call it, plugin, yeah, to help solve that. I really would like to get it more involved in our leads themselves and like shoot an email out immediately. Hey, we're not getting estimates out the next month because we're super busy. But we did receive your request and really think your product is a good fit. And it's hard to let go, right? It's hard to let go as I'm not that important is what I remind myself. Like, Me checking his personal email is how beneficial is that, you know?
Yeah, well, it depends on your client, right? You say you deal with a lot of older people. I don't know how old you're talking, but like, I don't know. Once they're in their, but I see like in their 70s sometimes and above, obviously they're a little more closed off to it. Some people are super open too, not just to
Yeah,
like,
totally.
stereotype. But then you'll be shocked too. Some people in their 70s are like, I'm all about it. I love it. Because they've seen the chat GPT. They've played with it enough to go, okay, it's pretty cool. So that stigma is kind of getting washed away of like, I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
But
We're like angry at technology. Like
yeah,
I feel like at this point you either have to have accepted it or you're gonna be
the,
miserable.
uh, the people that are going to be angry at technology are the ones, especially business owners and stuff that don't adopt it into their business.
Yeah, totally.
The
And it's
holdouts. Yeah.
quickly, right? Like a year ago, I didn't trust AI. I was like, I don't see how this is beneficial. And then all of a sudden, um, I trust it completely. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. And yeah, it's developing faster, it's growing faster and faster, but I don't think it's going to be taking over the world or anything like that. I think it's going to be a little slower eventually, but it's not going to be as fast as they say. People will talk about 5, 10 years, you won't recognize the world. I don't know. Working in the industry, I think it's helpful, but I don't think it's going to do that just yet.
Yeah, I'm curious. It's always exciting to see what happens. I mean, I think that's the key too, is stay curious and not get
Yeah,
stuck.
definitely.
But I think this is a safe industry, and kind of like I said, it wasn't like I saw the future and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get into the trades because AI can't take over residential construction." I think AI and technology will start building new homes. Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool companies. There's one in Maine, and I'm gonna forget the name, that builds everything in a warehouse, and then they're able to pop up a house in like 2 or 3 days because everything's
Yeah.
pre-built, pre-manufactured. So I think it's heading
I've seen
toward
those.
new builds really being automated, but again to a bathroom that has curved walls in
Yeah.
a 1980s home, it's not going to happen.
Maybe some new construction and stuff like that for sure. Yeah,
Right.
and there's just so many homes. There's so much business out there. So much different types of business. Uh, hey, wait, is there any like books that you read or any mentors that really had an impact on you as far as business goes and kind of brought you to where you're at today?
Uh, uh,
It's
uh.
always interesting to see people that are successful. Like, what were they feeding on? Like,
Um, I had some really good mentors at my corporate job. I was kind of the young guy, and um, it was a really cush job where these old guys were just, sitting pretty, not doing much work, and seemed, yeah. But they really helped me get through a lot of the growth into business, understanding business and finances. I can't say I've had a good mentor for residential construction. I kind of just said, we're going to do it our way, and we're going to be good at it. I would love to. I sit down with owners of small businesses a decent bit, and I've joined a couple groups, but I haven't stuck with it. As far as books, I'm always reading something. Right now, I'm reading a book called Profit First. It's basically, the idea is you pay yourself first and then everything later, which is exact opposite of how we started. Whatever's left over, we'll
yeah,
pay ourselves.
yeah.
That's a really good one as far as looking at your your money a little bit differently. Um, gosh, there's I'm so bad with remembering book names. Well,
I feel you. Yeah, sometimes you read a paragraph, you're like, what did I know what I read, but what did I just read?
It's so
Read
frustrating
it
when
5 times and
you're like, wait,
it
I just
finally
did 3
sticks. Yeah.
pages and I've been so
Your mind was
lost.
somewhere else. You're thinking about something
Yeah,
totally different.
that's for sure me. I I mean, I'm constantly reading. I want to see as many different kind of sides to everything as I can, but um, one that I really have liked recently, it's called Brian Weiss. It's not really a work book. Many Lives, Many Masters. Um, it's kind of a mental health book
Yeah.
in the raw sense of it. And I think mental health with running a business is key.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
with my employees too, because we see a lot of mental health issues these days, especially in America, I think. And I don't know, this book just really kind of made sense of the life we were in and living in the present. Focusing on what's in front of you and not dwelling on the past, not looking too far in the future. And I think the other key point, sorry, this is off topic, but
Yeah, that's great.
you set these goals, right? And I have very high expectations for myself and my company and my everything. And then I get pissed. I used to get pissed if I didn't reach those goals. And I was never going to reach them, right? Like it's kind of, you have to kind of set these aggressive goals and then these realistic goals, but I was just never quite like I would get a big win, we'd get $1 million project, and then the next day, like I'm ready to get another $1 million project. It didn't last long, and
Yeah.
I'm
Didn't
really
fulfill
trying
you, right? Yeah.
to settle and just be like, hey, this is the goal, but if life brings us this way and totally different direction, that's cool too.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a dopamine thing, right?
Yeah,
It's like an addiction. It feels so
totally.
good, and you're like, you're so up, you're so high from it, and then like you're down. You're like, dude, I want it again.
Yeah, it's how do I maintain this dopamine high, and it's just not that's not
Yeah,
sustainable, man.
yeah. But that's also what drives you. It's also why you're so successful too. So
I
there's
think
2
there's
sides to it, but I
something
think
that I
it's,
need to keep working on. Um,
yeah,
because yeah, you've trained your brain to enjoy these high highs, and then with that comes low lows.
yeah. No, I can relate to that for sure. And same with me, man. As life goes on, I've learned is, hey, be more content. Like, yeah, strive to do more. Always be growing, but it doesn't have to be like I need it all right now. I got to dedicate, my whole life to. You got to enjoy life, and it's going to make your work better. It's going to do better quality work, right? Your relationships are going to be better and sustainable.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I keep seeing on Instagram or wherever surfing mentality, and I know you're a surfer, but it's like you understand as a surfer that this wave you just caught came across the ocean from energy,
Yeah,
from the moon, from the sun, from the earth, from nature, from the bottom of the ocean, and you get this enjoyment out of it, this dopamine high again, and then you might not get that one again, but there's going to be another one coming. There's always another wave coming. You got to paddle out and work towards that enjoyment. You've got to. It's kind of a cool analogy that I know sits with me because I love a lot of hobbies, but surfing is definitely at the top, and really just allows me to forget about everything else going
yeah,
on.
it does. It does for sure. You could go out there and you don't even know it, but you're in a meditative state
Totally, that is
because you're so in the moment. You're so in the moment.
like,
You're
I
so in
hate
the
to say
moment.
this, but I'm not thinking about my son and my kids when it's a powerful day
Yeah,
out there. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
focused on what's in front of me, and
You're there.
that's a special thing. But you can also get there working. I've gotten, in this flow state of like I'm really excited to figure this out. I think it was kind of constant when we first started the company, and it's dwindled. But again, how to find I get excited about AI. I get excited about each new project, and how to create a solution for that home in particular. But how can you find ways to, yeah, be present in the moment and enjoy what you're doing without all of this other noise going on?
Yeah. I feel you on that for sure. So, hey, before we close things up, I want to see, is there anything that any advice you'd give a homeowner before they reach out and they want to get started with a project? Like anything they should be having in their mind, like, that before they get a project going, if they're considering a major renovation or custom build, like what's one piece of advice you'd give them before they get started
Mm,
that you wish all homeowners knew? So when you came to the project, you're like, that cool, we get moving.
I think, man, I'm going back into like every client's different, and there's three things I want to say for different clients. But I think the
Yeah.
one that supersedes and is true for every client and for every project. Don't rush the planning. Don't think, oh, it's just a bathroom. We can start next month. Because for a bathroom, there's 30, 30 to 50 selections you need to make. And it gets overwhelming real quick. And you're not just going to be able to Google it and find what you want right away because it looks different online than in person. And you need to go into 6 different suppliers. So I think a lot of people just want it done right away. I have this time in a month where we're going to be gone and make it happen.
Yeah.
And I think to the projects that go really well are the ones that have the time to plan and make sure that we've thought about everything before we start. And that
Yeah.
goes for historical homes or new builds. Like if we're doing a small project at a historical home, we'll come in and see what's in those walls ahead of time. Give us the time to explore a little bit so that when we do start, we know and everything's going to go smooth from there.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. It's great advice. And they're gonna have this bathroom for the next, 20 years, who knows, maybe
Right.
more.
We don't,
So
yeah.
why
We want,
no shortcuts.
we want to build spaces that are going to last a lifetime. Yeah.
That's great. Right on, Justin. So before we go, anything you'd like to add, or put out some information where people can find you?
Cousinscomaine.com. We really only in Portland, Maine, unfortunately, but come check us out. And our Instagram, that is really our social media solely, is cousins.co.maine. And we post on there as much as we can.
It's great, man. Hey, Justin, I really appreciate you coming on, and just taking the time to explain everything. And I can tell you really care about your business. You put a lot of thought into what you do. It really shows. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. And yeah, I look forward to staying in touch.
Yeah, appreciate it, Scott. Cheers, man.
All right, guys. See y'all next time. Cool. Killed the record.